What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and it's Top 10 Thursday. In my life, I've beaten some truly rough stuff. We're talking bosses with millions of health, demons from hell, or just monsters that seem bulletproof. Each game provides its own unique challenge, but what about the projects that take things one step further? This week, we're taking a special look at the titles that are absolutely insane to conquer on their highest difficulty, on my picks for the top 10 games with the hardest hard modes. Number 10. Left 4 Dead 2. In a zombie apocalypse, just the tiniest bite can often mean you'll die. If you want any hope of lasting until the next safe zone, it's going to require good aim and smart teammates standing beside you. When playing on normal, Left 4 Dead highlights your friends with a glowing outline so you can see them even when surrounded by thousands of hungry corpses. However, in Realism, all those helpful display options are turned off, leaving you almost blind in the chaos. Sometimes in a shadowy sewer, it's impossible to tell who's a buddy and what's another creature to be shot in the head. You better check your fire carefully or you might end up alone with the infected. Number 9. Devil May Cry 4. This series is already notorious for its rather brutal sense of difficulty. Most levels start you out overwhelmed by enemies and low on stamina just to test your skills and ability to remain standing despite the odds. Those wanting something a bit more savage though can activate Hell Mode. This introduces two new factors into battle. First off, all the ghouls blocking our path can now murder you in a single hit, and secondly, they gain access to Devil Trigger. What that does is makes it so any fight longer than 2 minutes, all these twisted freaks become instantly 10 times faster. Why did they combine such wicked elements together and think people could complete it? If you aren't able to flawlessly clear the entire game, then you just have to give up. Number 8. Fallout New Vegas. Walking out into the vast, dry wasteland, our hero checks his bullets. In a place this dangerous, every piece of ammo can determine the difference between a scuffle you survive and one you don't. What if we were also required to not only watch your health and guns, but also a body's need for food and water? Fallout New Vegas featured a revolutionary idea in gaming with hardcore mode. The developers sought to create a dramatically more realistic feeling to our journey, and they were agonizingly successful. Along with having to eat and drink, removing radiation from your bloodstream is slower, items don't do as much, and you're forced to sleep or your body will shut down. Finishing the story despite these complications truly makes you the god of Fallout. Number 7. Ninja Gaiden 2. An important lesson to learn in life is that being the best at anything is simply a matter of time, dedication, and a willingness to fail. However, being the best at this title takes all of that plus an additional amount of incredible patience. Putting this project on even its lowest difficulty can prove quite impassable for a huge chunk of gamers. If you manage to slay the last boss though, you unlock Master Ninja, an option that shouldn't be selected unless you want to see Ryo get turned into a bloody mess. For this, it's mandatory that you're able to pull off split-second dodges, 100-strike combos, and understand how to slightly glitch the programming in order to make it through a single level. Just for fun, while doing research, I looked up a strategy guide to see what others thought of it and stumbled on a debate from fans questioning if this was designed to be unachievable. Number 6. Dead Space 2. It's always so interesting to find something that invents an all-new way to challenge you. Dead Space 2 on its own is a pretty rough experience. Being an engineer trapped in the middle of an outbreak of necromorphs gives him only 2 paths. Get great at chopping off undead limbs or die screaming. Since Isaac Clarke doesn't have military training or real guns, his brains are his best weapons. Unfortunately for him, that might not be enough. We're still exploring the same gory station in hardcore, but all the monsters are given a massive increase to their strength. Just a tiny scratch can see you effortlessly ripped apart. If the situation wasn't crazy already, things are taken one step further because here, you're only allowed to save the game twice during a full playthrough. If you fail in combat, you land back at the opening screen, which means that every checkpoint better be close or you're repeating hours of content. Number 5. Furi. Sitting in jail totally sucks, especially when the guards are all supernatural half-human cyborgs. In Furi, we're a man escaping a prison built just for him. Gaining your freedom comes down to whether you can use your blades and pistol to defeat these technologically modified mutants or not. By memorizing their attack patterns and staying alert, you may be able to get away. That is until you turn it on Furier mode. Here our jailers have been gifted with more stamina, lightning speed so they can be nearly faster than the eye can see, and they basically stop dropping power-ups. A huge factor of the gameplay in Furi is that as you wear down a boss, they bleed items that can be grabbed to boost your own health. The fact that this is removed leaves you stuck fighting with 1 HP bar against opponents that can sometimes have 5 times the amount. Winning is a matter of raw talent, the skills to react at a moment's notice, and thinking with perfect clarity under pressure. Number 4. Max Payne 3. It's never a good idea to piss off a person with nothing to lose. The less a guy has to sacrifice to kill you, the more willing he is to do it. Max Payne has zero going on for him other than a sloppy job as a bodyguard. Getting paid is simply about being quicker with your weapons than the people trying to slaughter the dude you're protecting. In New York Minute Hardcore mode, the clock is 100% your biggest enemy. The Mafia is hunting you down, so you're going to be swimming through gangsters, but the real trouble here is that every mission has to be completed in a minute. Adding more seconds to the timer is done by blasting the gunman chasing you. Wait, I should probably mention that there's another small twist that makes this even more painful though. If you die for any reason, you have to restart the full game over from the very beginning. Obtaining victory requires you make it past each objective, scoring essentially all headshots without being hit yourself. Most people who attempt this end up breaking their controller in pure frustration and burying it in the backyard just so that they never ever have to play this again. Number 3. Doom. Deep in the lowest regions of hell, Cyber Satan awaits anyone dumb enough to take him on. Thankfully, our hero isn't afraid of a couple million demons as long as he has a shotgun in his hands. For the most part, Doom is honestly a rather easy game. The joy of this project comes from running into rooms blindly and shredding anything standing around us. In Ultra Nightmare though, this would be an absolute death sentence. This mode cranks up the aggression of creatures so they more viciously stalk you, their strikes are more devastating, and we have very little armor to soften their blows. Making it past these upgraded imps is all about watching the corners and remaining on guard so they can't sneak up on you. If somehow they do rip your face off, that's when you see what makes Ultra Nightmare so legendary. Listen to these words closely. Dying deletes your save file. That makes every action extra stressful. I once spent 7 hours in one day trying to beat this. Creeping forward, I progressed into areas as slow as I could to not make a mistake. Eventually though, I was surprised by a demon and lost everything I'd fought for. Number 2. BioShock Infinite. Many shooters have some sort of added RPG element in recent years. By collecting cash or spare parts, the player can unlock different ways to customize in their favorite tools of destruction. BioShock Infinite handles this by hiding money in random houses or in side paths to reward those who are searching everywhere. In 1999 mode, it's much safer to keep these dollars in your pockets because you're going to need them badly. The director of the game, Ken Levine, stated that he was craving some of the sheer difficulty of retro gaming, so he crammed some of that classic old school unfairness in here. Our foes have sharper aim for dishing out headshots, you bleed to death quicker, and whenever you lose the last of your life, respawning costs $100. Yes, I'm being dead serious about that. The same currency that buys you ammo and upgrades now also determines whether you can come back to life. That makes it so every encounter is a chance of ruining you financially and possibly screwing you out of all further unlocks, which means you can't beat the game. Getting the trophy for 1999 mode was painful in the best way, and I'm still so freaking glad I earned it. Number 1. Fire Emblem Awakening. There seems to be this misunderstanding that some people have where they imagine Nintendo games as being cute kids' toys. Anybody who has that picture in their head should spend a couple weeks with a 3DS and test their tactical techniques against Fire Emblem. It is crucial that you give this game your undivided attention because losing focus for even a millisecond can cause your instant demise. In Awakening, you need to command an army to outmaneuver your opponents on the battlefield, but if you make an error in judgment, you'll pay dearly. On Lunatic mode, bad guys are given random magic from the end of the game, so they're far more powerful right at the start, and when someone on your team is killed, they stay dead forever. That means you better move with expert precision or you won't survive past chapter 1. If you aren't extremely lucky and able to outsmart every foe, there's no way you can slay a single boss. For its insane brutality, ridiculously strong monsters, and ability to ruin your entire playthrough with one turn, I awarded this my pick as the game with the hardest hard mode. Did your favorite rough game not make the list? Got an idea for a future top 10? Leave it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I noticed in the comments you guys ask a lot of questions about my collection, so to let you in on something. I accidentally buy games multiple times occasionally. For example, this week we were talking about Max Payne 3. I've bought Max Payne 3 7 times by accident. I keep seeing it for like $1 and just picking it up. If you think that's bad, I've purchased Sonic 2 9 times. Some of them are even complete in box. I just keep buying it. I see it for like 50 cents. I'm like, oh, Sonic 2, I don't know if I had that. I better buy it. Well, you know what? I have it. I have all these. I gotta stop. Stop me. And it was a total dumpster fire. Oh, hi. I'm just working on the next video. If you want to see what it is, go ahead and click this button and you can subscribe. Also, if you click these video links, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. Now I'm just going to sit here for a minute and wait for you to subscribe. Oh, I guess I could put on these giant glasses. I literally found these on a roller coaster.